It says, remove not ancient landmark which thy fathers set. I want to talk about a journey. It is not without this. It is not a solo act. And I think that's the interesting thing about the journey of the Lord. The book of Psalms actually says what the Lord does extends from one generation to another. So it's like you are like a puzzle that has to fit into what the Lord is already doing. So it's not a solo act, it's not a new thing. Even though in the zeal of the call, most of the time you feel like you're hearing a new thing, and as such you also feel like your grace is unique, but in instance and in truth, we are just fitting into what the Lord has already said, or what the Lord has already set in place for it to actually unfold. And it is very necessary that we also remember, the landmarks of the fathers, the landmarks of old. And then I come to actually explain this concept, because when you look at it from a scriptural reference, it actually speaks about a borderline, right? It actually also speaks about something that is also outstanding, a landmark, something that marks, a certain thing, And the book of Proverbs, the writer writes and he says, do not remove your neighbor's landmark. And this time he's speaking about one who cheats. This is the borderline, this is the land that I've been given, and this is where it ends. And you want to encroach into the land of your neighbor, so you then remove the borderline or you manipulate it. So he's actually emphasizing that to say, do not remove, these lines that have been placed for us, that the demarcations that have been placed. Because I think one of the things that we enjoy about the freedom of following the Lord is not understanding that it is not as free as it looks. The scripture says, when you were young, you did what you wanted, but when you are now old, another holds you by the hand, and it takes you to where you don't want to go in order to do that which you don't want to do. It's a journey of being conquered, where you have your own ideas, and every now and then he shows you that I am more senior. Every now and then he shows you I'm in charge. Every now and then he takes away that which you value. Why? It isn't because he wants to let you know. He's simply saying you can value nothing about me. I must be first. I'm priority. I am the fundamental thing in your life. So it's a journey in which, as you walk, it's almost as if once you idolize a thing, he removes it. It's almost as if once you think you're right, he comes and he makes you realize how lacking you are. Just when you found something that you think you love, then he removes it. Why? Because nothing else. Like you are supposed to discover nothing but him. A journey in him. I was looking at the disciples. I'm receiving this over that's over and over. Maybe someone is lost. I don't know. I was just looking at the disciples. Before I go to the disciples, let me also look at some of the landmarks that have been laid down by our fathers. And one of the patriarchs is Abraham. He laid down interesting landmarks. Some we battle with in the 21st century church, some we don't understand, but however I want to mention them as landmarks. And I want you to understand that people who lay landmarks are people that love him enough to offer him that which he has never asked. And out of love, out of overwhelming for him, they are able to discern that which the Lord will appreciate and bring it on the altar as a sacrifice. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Abraham, who has conquered the kings, and when he returns, he comes to a place where he says, I want to give the best to the Lord. And we call it the tenth, we call it the tithe. And you ask yourself, who told him? Who told him that you must choose that which is best and give it to the Lord? Who told him that this is what the Lord requires? These are people that love him enough, that have been conquered with him, that have journeyed with him, that they know how to discern that which they've never seen on anyone and are able to give it to you. And it's a challenge if you are still being conquered by the Lord. If you still struggle with what others have done, how then would you get to a place where you are able to offer beyond yourself? He then offers out to the Lord the very best. And it becomes something. I'm sure the Lord was so pleased. And he's like, this must be a memorial. He was so pleased and he says, I'm going to incorporate it in the law. He was so pleased and he says, generations must follow this example. He was so happy and he says, I am going to ask of Israel by law to give it to me. And another thing he displays is faith. And I love his kind of faith because his faith is alive. It is the kind that waits for a promise, that gets disappointed but still stands, right? It is a faith that comes in the peak of your youth when you are excited and you hear certain promises and you are sure it will only be a moment. You can already see even the contact is wrong, even the sound is wrong. When you already see the enemies who are supposed to sit at the table when the Lord is raising you, until at the time when he actually does it, the enemies are already done. They are no longer enemies. Yeah. You are so broken, nobody envies you. Yeah. By the time he does it, I didn't want to show off. Yeah. By the time he actually does it, nobody is even looking out for what God will do through you. Yeah. He makes you wait until you are 100 old. When you are looking at it, you are like, now God, I'm willing to accept. Can you just allow Ishmael to live in your blessing? I no longer have too many ambitions. I'm no longer asking for too much. I no longer request a lot. I'm just saying, well, this little thing that is here, can you just use that? I will be consoled. And the Lord still says no. And that has to be fair, because I am simply saying we can solve this situation. Lord, you can save your reputation. Well, I understand, because you said you would do it. We are not sure if you still can. Right? Because we've been waiting for over 40 years. So I'm just simply saying that Ishmael, that blessing one made, this whole thing can be fixed. So we can save face. And the Lord says no. It reminds me of a season. I will not go it. Maybe I should go it. And share it. It reminds me of a season where I was so offended. I remember I lost my job. By then I had 2 children and a husband. And business was not going well on his side. Things were messy on my side. I lost my job. And I'm like thinking to myself, Lord, do something. Right? And now something is not happening. We are to move to go to my mother-in-law's house. And we are signing up on this. You know? When I got in, not to say we were well, when I got in, we went to our own smaller place. So I'm like thinking to myself, Lord, I'm very concerned, right? And I'm doing one of those. He can do exceedingly abundantly above what you can do. So if he can do all that and he's not doing it, it's because he doesn't want to. We understand, like what he said though, and that's the program. To say the issue is that you can do it, but you are refusing. You are saying no. And I remember in the season our landlord said, no, let's just bargain on the fact that you're not taking. You can always get more, you can be able to pay back. So I'm going to give you credit for a while. Stay. I'm like, what in the landlord is because this guy is doing what is within his strength. You can do everything. Like I would be owning a house in a suburb with a pool. And I am just simply saying, can we make the flat work? have to please. You just want to say faith. And the Lord tells you, you have to wait for the promise. And why? Because the faith must work out in the life of the Lord. He has to wait for the promise. And the waiting is also very important. I want to look at the journey of the disciples as a way of just looking at how they have walked with the Lord. And I want to start with Judas Iscariot. And I find it interesting when I say a journey in him, because this is a journey of a Christian, right? And we understand that the Christian comes along in the book of Acts when they are mentioned Christians for the first time. And before them they were disciples, they were believers. And when we encounter disciples, we have to understand that disciples are students in the way of the Lord. And what is so interesting is that the syllabus is not like our government, right? Because our government syllabus is more like we are all tested on memory. Your ability to reproduce what you have gathered and stored in your mind. And with your maths and other things, your ability to understand the numbers and whatever. So if you could be excelling in an area where I'm not doing well, and there is an area I could do better. When it comes to my hands, when it comes to other skills, but I'm not tested on it. And as a result, you are the best in it. But the design of the Lord is that He actually disciples you. The journey is tailor-made in order to conquer you into places of your weakness and enhance your strength in a unique manner. And what do I mean by that? I want us to look at Judas Iscariot. I was very interested in how, because these disciples are not only their disciples, they are not Christians, because they are brought up to be apostles. So it's not a situation where they keep baby steps, milk. I would like to believe that the Lord calls people who were rich enough in spirit, right? In order to fine-tune them so that they can buy. Because the ministry of Jesus, there wasn't a lot of time. That's what I because it was like 3 years. And that's why we are getting our training was intense. We needed to find out what was wrong and fix it quickly so that you can be able to do what needs to be done. And Judas Iscariot is, even when he's introduced, he also introduces the one that betrayed Jesus. Yeah. And these are the apostles that in Matthew 10, these are the disciples of Jesus. They would mention them and they would say, Judas Iscariot who betrayed Jesus. And when I look at him, and I'm trying to wonder, what was his issue? How was his journey with the Lord? I think that's what we're talking about. How was his journey with the Lord? Because he started perfect like all of them. And when he started out, Scripture says in the book of Matthew, when he called them, he gave them power. Right? To deal with the serpents, to deal with the unclean spirits. He gave them authority over sicknesses and Judas, included. And one of the things that I couldn't even fathom was even the part where he gave them power to even let me say pronounce the curse, lack of a better word. But what actually Scripture explains is that when they get into the city, they are supposed to identify one who's worthy to receive them. And when they get there, if the person is unable to receive them, they shake off their feet, as a curse, to the house. So you can imagine that Judas Iscariot with such powers. He's a disciple of the Lord. Yeah. So he is working among them. He is standing with them. So in the eye of the world, those who are not looking from within, he's a perfect disciple. Where is he? He's preaching. Well, understand that he is doing that because Jesus said to them, don't even go to working Gentiles. Yeah. Don't go to Samaria. Go to the lost sheep of Israel. Go to Israel. And you tell them the kingdom of God is at hand. So here is a guy moving around, announcing the kingdom of God is at hand. And while he is busy announcing, there is an issue in his heart. And what is the issue in his heart? I feel like Judas Iscariot was offended by Jesus. That's what I feel. What do I mean by that? I want to use the alabaster box as a picture. So that's why you might say to yourself, I love God, right? But you must understand that even most atheists were lovers of God until something was happening. And And you must remember that scripture says he is a rock of offense. So there are certain things that when you stumble over can alter your perspective and change the direction of your. There are such things. Get me when I do understand that the lamp needed to be changed. Somebody needed to know it. Scripture still says, who do you? Who brings about such? So I still want to look at him as a fair game, as an upright individual given a chance to be a disciple. He comes along and then he looks at the issue of the alabaster box. And another thing about Judas is that he approached the priest. They never approached him to say, we want to betray Jesus. Can you assist us? No. He approached them. And if you were to know what was in his heart, that would be so offended by the Lord. So sometimes if you're offended, you must be careful. Because sometimes you're offended by a man of God, and all of a sudden, a woman of God comes further, you end up even criticizing God, the word of God. Although we're offended by the church, now you want to demean the concept of the church. You want it to look like a house, and then which is meant to elevate the Bahana. Yeah, because Africa, Muriti, my beautiful wife, that's what you see. And you forget something about the church, because Jesus says the church, he says the church from this foundation, right? He says to Peter, you are the rock, right? So he is the grace, right? He says, you are the rock. And upon this rock, so he is using the grace to actually build. And the grace called Peter, the grace called Prophetess. He's using that. And that's why when you see that. And he says, and the gates of hell shall not be against. So the church is the only thing that is able to withstand the gates of hell. But at times when you are at a place of offense, you can diminish to a social club. Because you know that I don't need to be there anymore. And you don't understand, well, when there is a temple alone, you cannot conquer the gates of hell. You can't. There are battles you can't go while you're praying by yourself. There are certain things you can never grow in. Like we are talking about a journey there. Right? We are talking about a journey there. And we're talking about century Christians at a perspective. One of the perspectives is that God will raise them like Moses in the wilderness without any help or assistance. And the temple. The same way I can work from home, I can also church from home. A journey with the Lord, right? But what you don't understand is that Moses was not alone. Moses said Jethro. Jethro sent him to say, go up the mountain and take care of the sheep. He was not without instruction. And while he was following the instruction of his father, then he heard the Lord. You tell me what will raise me, what I'm facing for them. What you don't understand is that his father is the one that said, start feeding for the brothers. It was a minimal job. It was simple instruction that was given to a son to say, hey, look, I think you're going to encounter God with a voice of no. When you are busy doing the simplest of things, when you are just gathering your own scafting so that you can go give it to your brothers, and when you get there, then you encounter an opportunity of a lifetime where the Lord is calling you out from your own brothers and He is elevating you into a place of kingship. So sometimes you must be very careful in offense. Offense is a big issue. Offense. Let's go back to Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot, he looks at the alabaster box, the woman with the alabaster box, and she comes with it and she pours it at his feet, and he's looking at it, he's like, what will this? This anointing is in this. And okay, in my mind I'm actually wondering, did he understand that Jesus is the Christ, the all-anointed? He doesn't even need the anointing from this woman of God. So his perception was now altered because he was offended. He couldn't even be able to understand that Christ is all deserving of all anointing. And for me, his offense is twofold. Because the first offense is that why point on Jesus? Why not give it to the poor? Giving. But no, you do not value the Jesus. The poor must benefit from it. So what is the issue here? The issue is that you do not think Jesus or the Lord is deserving of the honor. It's a dimension where one would feel like the way you're calling your life too much. You're valuing this thing of God. It's too much. There's no need to love him as much. So that's the issue. And then Jesus also addresses the issue. He says, I came here and nobody washed my feet. And he says, why? It's because you don't love as much. He says, those who have been forgiven much love much. So what is the issue with Judas is that he does not love as much as he has been around him, as much as he has enjoyed the benefit of the power that goes with going out and laying it down on the feet, of Jesus and taking out the demons. The issue is that he has never given his heart fully unto him. So in your journey with him, you need to learn to actually give your heart. I also feel like he thought this woman was wasteful in having, because here, Jesus does not deserve the honor. And you, in having to take this much and give to Jesus, it's like you don't understand the value. You don't understand significance. It's almost as if some people in class, this is costly. You could be able to get more value from it. It's almost as if they are saying, having to pursue the Lord in the house of the Lord, it's not good enough. Your time, do not spend it in the field. Do not waste your time in the field. Also, look out there so that you can be able to bring value into your life. So that's the thing. He never saw value in God. He never saw the fact that if this woman poured herself out to Jesus, it was not wasteful. He couldn't see that. And hence, he didn't find him worthy of his life. He didn't want to pour it out. And that's what costed him. It costed him a great deal. Because he then felt, I felt in my heart, I could feel it, Jesus is too much. Let's just take this as serious. Can I approach this list? That's how I feel. He never had the honor for the Lord, and he was annoyed when others honored him. Sometimes you must check. Now I have an issue with people who also hate pastors. We always complaining, pastors this one. So what? You do not appreciate the fact that someone has abandoned all in order to pursue him. Like that's why you say, is it not worth it? What are you saying? Hey, pastors are lazy. Hey, they must go work. They must at times it is a sign of your own heart. You don't give honor to God and you despise anyone who does it. You feel like he deserves this Sunday portions that you give him. Those moments when you say, I give my heart, and that time you are convinced you're doing it. And when you're done, you take your heart and you go with it. Are you really saying that the perfume that is costly will not find value at the feet of Jesus? We should take it out there and take care of the world. Otherwise, are you busy? There are other things. And then you have the whole week there just sitting. You know, it's so interesting also his choice of betrayal. He uses a kiss. So Judas was an actor. He actually wanted Jesus to believe he really loves him. He did. He just came in and he just kissed him. And what I find classic, guys, is it's the time when they were having supper and Jesus is saying, someone among us, among you. Or when that's the daughter side of the father. And that's why your son will never be perfect. Sometimes the Jesus must remain. And if you know very well how they are going to deal with you. I think Jesus at that point in time, he was beyond get this right. I'm giving you a chance. And when the part that defeats me completely about Judas, right, is how the enemy had mirrored his weaknesses to him so much that he couldn't stand looking at himself, that he had to destroy himself and end his life. So the enemy is not your friend. He's not your friend. When you are busy doing all this, because at some point scripture says he repented in his heart. He felt to know I have betrayed innocent blood. And he took the coins and he went to the priest, and the priest were like, I know the contract is done, that is your pay, so we are not going to entertain all this. And scripture says he then went and he was beyond sorrowful. The energy he had to approach the priest is now looking at him. It's like the enemy preaching and letting you was not sinning. You are not a good person. You're not good. You just decided without being provoked and you went and you spoke to the priest. Not that was enough, you still continue to fellowship with this guy. And yet at the end of it all, you then decided. And for me, I feel like the guilt was too much. And sometimes you must check when you are too depressed. Because sometimes it is actually a sign that you are very disappointed in your choices. You are not happy with how you went into things. And the Lord was like, really don't go. I know. I got this. Sometimes you must check. Half the time, you are so overwhelmed. What overwhelmed in these choices? And get me well, we all have a day where you check. Because we get stuck on it, and then we realize, well, I'm not happy with how far I've gone. I actually thought I had better potential than I've shown. Then, why do we do that? Or why does the Lord allow those thoughts so that we may see that in ourselves we are distracted? You are unable to carry your life. That's why scripture says, he who carries it will lose it. So it's a reminder, or you need to give it to the Lord. And I think that was the issue with Judas. He never returned to God. To say, I didn't do well. I didn't make the best choices. And I need forgiveness. And that is also selfishness. Like that is also a feeling. You do not need anything higher than yourself. It's we talk too much, but it's even in the point of distraction. That's why love of prayer. But like love of prayer, that's what it is. It's like you are in trouble, you refuse to ask for help. You rather go down the drain. That's one thing I don't get about our generation, is that we have not learned how to walk. There you are, death is crouching into your house. You can feel things are not okay. People are going to put this in we are just like what because we are just like and we are telling like I'm overwhelmed. And then I'm thinking, why wouldn't you raise your voice? Why wouldn't you say something to the Lord? Why wouldn't you ask God? Why wouldn't you ask the mighty God to say it? Tell him. Let's look at a few and then I would like to sit down. I take time to understand things, so I spend forever. So by the time I get something, it's hard to reproduce it. And it just takes me forever for me to actually do that. And then I speak and I exhaust it. So I want to and I just want to look at James. Not James, let me look at not James. I want this one. So this is the school. Judas' issue of honor. I don't want it to take it far. I understand you can say he had issues with the money. But I see honor. I feel like the money was the fruit. The fundamental issue was that he didn't honor the Lord as much as he was living. And I think that's where the scripture comes from to say you will take out the the demons, you will do this, and the Lord says, I don't know you. So he is functioning, but he has an issue of honor in his life. Because sometimes the reason why you don't want to live right is because you don't honor him outside. You don't feel him. You take him, you know, it's so interesting. You go on when you take someone so like for granted. Like in your mind, you will not adopt him and then sorry. Sorry, his godness, and the business, and handle mind that you don't use. That's how much disregard we have for it. Let's look at it. I love personality at Peter, you know, but I also want to highlight some of the weaknesses that also faced him and that also challenged him. Because when you meet him, he's also mentioned first Peter, you know, among the disciples. Simon, and with him and through him, we see important lessons that Jesus also displays. You know, one of them, the issue of the church, maybe in his back there, where he says, "Who do they say I am?" You know? and Peter is the one that knows how to align with the Spirit, and he's a prophetic among them. The one who's very prophetic among the disciples. He's able to, you know, the woman of God, you know, tune himself into the right frequency in order to have you to prayer. Right? And he then says, you are the Son of God. You know? And Jesus also compliments him. He says, no, that is, you know, human, you know, flesh and blood is only built this. It was God, you know. And this is nice. And he also says to him, I will also give you the keys to the kingdom. So this is a guy who is standing with the keys of the kingdom. And scripture says right after that, Jesus also explains on how he will be crucified. And when he's crucified, this is the one that wants to salvage God. He then says, no, it will not happen to you. No, it can't. You can't die, you can't suffer all those things, you can't go through all those things. And Jesus says, no, go be behind, he says. And I'm quite impressed with how harshly Jesus addressed it. And his ability to take it. You know, compliments by Jesus, that has made you stand out among the disciples. You are giving powerful answers to things that these people don't know. Even Israel itself don't understand. They say he is one of the prophets. They say maybe he is John. They're confused. And here is Peter answering accurately. So he definitely placed working a level higher than the other disciples. Then he flops. His flops are equally bad. And the same vigor that Jesus uses to compliment him publicly, he uses to also discipline him. He says, get thee behind me. His ability to contain that. You must also check in your journey with the Lord. How do you handle offense? How? Because men make mistakes. Because they offend. Check this. The issue is that his birthright is gone. Personally, I feel he's the one person in scripture who was given an opportunity to negotiate with them. Reuben, but you are no longer. By the side of my right hand, you will no longer excel. Why? Because you went into your father's bed. You know? So you maybe he never knew going there would cost him that. But for me, this is the one person who was asked to give me the land. And he gives it. Oh yeah, I'm free. I understand the deception on that moment, but for me, it was a negotiation. So in this kind of negotiation, he's crying foul. He doesn't want to take responsibility. Who's checking his move around? Well, you take responsibility for your own actions, and I got accountable. Because we're going into Jacob, it is Jacob stone, Jacob the thief, Jacob the deceiver. That's what he is. In the 21st century, they will call you a narcissist. You don't want to take responsibility. So, his issue is that his head, right? And he goes to his father, I just want one blessing. Just a blessing, something. And his father says something. He says, your means. Which is also a sign. Seniors are speaking, keep silent. Take lessons. Peter is speaking. That's why there are also certain rebukes that are thrown within the mix. And if I wonder, but you position yourself for the discipline, take it. So offense can tell you very well. And sometimes offended, it's almost as if I got myself in a ditch and I'm offended that he didn't come save me. And the thing was like, I want you to let the lesson know. I want you to let the lesson stay there. And when I understand, when I got myself in there, my God, come look for me like now, not tomorrow now. Not tomorrow, right now. And the Lord says, no, I'm going to leave you a bit in slavery. I'm going to give you a moment to actually see value in my instructions. Because when I tell you to do something, you do not do it. And you just think I will save you every time. So I'm going to give you a chance for wisdom to settle. Because when it comes without experience, you don't learn. So I'm just going to allow experience to unfold. Offense is very important. Ishmael was also once offended. And in his offense, he overheard an instruction where his father said to Jacob, do not marry Isaac. Do not marry Amalek. What did he do exactly? You give people like this. Why? Because he was offended. So offense can sit you, sometimes it will set your heart. Some of you lose seasons because you're offended. What separated is Paul and Barnabas. They were doing great, those guys. They were together, doing the work of the Lord together. What happened? Because they just didn't agree. And Barnabas was offended. To say, you must think it's the end thing. I'm going to go my way. Let him go his way. We can all serve God. And you hear him again? He died. And I mean death, I mean his grace died. Never heard of it. Before that, they moved over the age, they were breaking open until an offense. That set him on a different path, that changed his perspective. He looked at Paul and he said, now he's acting like this. The Lord slapped him. You know what? I listened to him. Now he's acting like this. So you are able to decide when he is an apostle of the season. You are assisting him. You are standing with him and he is hotspotting you. And it's okay. It's not a crime. Some people are not as great as I hoped I would be. Because I thought that would be an offense, and that's why you don't get used by the Lord. Because when you're growing, you're thinking, I'm going to be the cutting edge, and I'm going to do great things, and the Lord blesses the name. The cutting edge. And all I wish I would know the grace is undeniable. But when you are in your camp with your own people, you start saying, I know it. But the grace is everywhere. Offense. So Peter is able to handle it, he's able to take it. The Lord says, deep behind his head. And Peter, I don't know, I like the way he puts himself out there because he has the greatest mistakes and the greatest successes. And I guess for me, that might also be a sign of faith. Your journey with the Lord you must take risks, man. Take risks. Sometimes even when you're not ready, they're like, come and minister. You come. You come. Why? Because you understand that it needs to be done. And somebody must do it. And you're an available soldier. Why another? You know this one time when he sees Jesus and Jesus is just approaching and he's walking upon the waters and he says to him, say it. I love that. I love his desire for him. That he wanted to partake into you. That biblically. The way he thinks, the things he asks. Sometimes when you think differently, you ask for different things. Different things. You even offer different things. Like even the first person who actually decided to set up an altar. And the Lord decided, oh no, I love the smell of fresh burning. You actually want to remove it. That the Lord would love it. But these are people that love Him so much that are able to search His heart and be able to find out things that others can't see and offer Him that which He has not asked. That's why our such a minimal requirements. It's a problem. Because there are higher things that you must offer the King. Things that only when you offer them. I also love this one because God was so happy about it that He said, I am going to create an altar in the temple of God. And this altar must never stop. I am so happy with this sacrifice. Can you offer something to the Lord?
Hey,
something,
Jesus.
Something better. Sometimes we must stop debating. No, in the Lord we are supposed to do like that. No, we are not supposed to do like. No, do it in a way that surpasses the basic, that surpasses the normal. That do beyond. Because the King deserves that. You know, but the part that I found very amazing was when Jesus said to the disciples, you are going to be offended concerning this life. I'm speaking concerning the cross. So he's prepared. And he says to them, the same, it took a different meaning for me when I heard it this time. He said, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. So he's saying, what's scattering you? It's offense. And what is the offense here? Because if you look at Mebal he will be crucified, but their head will not reveal it. Not quite. I think they enjoyed the fellowship. And maybe the disciples were forever taken up by being with him. Because one of the things he would keep on saying is that you believe in me, but you don't understand this yet. I have been teaching you these things, you haven't understood this, but I think they enjoyed their presence. You know, when you are just basking, when you are in the transfiguration, you are just enjoying, right? So when he gets crucified, they are faced with the reality of how this guy is dying. And the second thing, who you might be next? I think no, she can. You were busy with this guy. So the point of offense, which is that he is calling himself God, which is that he's preaching the gospel, and you are also doing the same, busy taking out demons and whatnot. So you are also extremely frustrated. How can this guy be so irresponsible to put me at a place of danger where I could actually die? That is also the anger. We are like, no, man, this guy, he is now being crucified. All this time you are saying he is God. Hey, he is this. And you must see with Peter's approach into things. When the Roman soldiers came in and they are telling Jesus, he takes the sword. So he conquer. He doesn't want to see a point of defeat. Conquering by being defeated is not in his mind. In his mind, I think he was actually thinking, well, Jesus will just defend himself quickly and no cross. And Jesus says, I could ask my Father and he could send legions of angels to defend. So this is not about that. So here they are, and Peter then says, they can be okay. Or not be okay. That's when you overpromise. You overpromise Jesus. I remember the disciples also went to him and they said, okay, among us, who is great? Among us, who will sit on the right, who will sit on the left? And then Jesus then says, but it's not my choice. We sit on the right. And then I give the right is the right hand of God. When you take them out of Egypt, scripture says he took them out with an outstretched arm. An outstretched arm. So it's the end of power. Yeah. So when they were asking this, everybody's hoping they would say, me, you, James, you will sit in the right hand. You get what I mean? So, and so when they asked, Jesus asked them a question, he says it's not for me to decide, but I'm able to pay the cost of being bigger on the earth. You know what is the answer? So what is Christ actually saying? He is looking at it because he is looking at it and he's actually saying, you are asking for a difficult thing. And that which you are asking, you do not even have capacity to be prepared for. You will be like, Jesus will die. And nobody will kill you, you will lose yourself. It's like sabotage. You do not have capacity. So he says, no, I will not. Everybody can be your friend, but you're not me. And that is also a sign that you also do not understand yourself very well. I don't know yourself. And Jesus then responds before the cross. You would have denied me, not once, not twice. The journey is in. In one moment you are standing with him on the other side of it. And in the next year, I was never with him. And it's a level of faith that brings you to that point. When you are looking at things and you are looking at God, you are like, no. It's easy sometimes to look at it and you say, I know now I wouldn't be offended like Peter. But the times when you have waited and he keeps promising, right? And when he keeps promising, he sounds like a broken record, right? It sounds like you're saying the same thing, but you're not doing it. Right? When he says the 10th time, you laugh and start. You're offended. You keep offended, say, ha! Well, you will have a child today. And you know what she adds? She says, now in my old age. Yeah. Is it now? Is it now that I'm going to enjoy the pleasure of having a child? Yeah. She did. Ha! I will never be offended. It's a shame, man. And then I confront her, you will tell. No, I did not. When I was giving a promise, I'll take you out by my right hand. You don't tell. No, I didn't believe you. You are distorted. It's a journey. At times we don't understand. At times we don't get it. At times we feel like you should do it in a way that would be good. And at times it doesn't move that way. And that hurts. It becomes a rock of offense that you stumble over. Because at times that we should think you know. There was a time where I actually had to discover woman about that I never understood. There were just certain expectations I had. And I chose the Lord when I was young. When I was 8, I received God. One of the things I expected of perfection is God. But when I studied architecture, the Porsches would be mine. And get me well, it was not from a prideful place. It was from a sincere place of choosing Him. To say I've chosen the Lord, therefore I'm safe. And therefore there is no suffering there. And there I realized it wasn't like that there. I didn't get it. And I said that now I need to redefine God. I need to really understand who He is. Because if I don't, I'm going to lose Him. Because when you're at a point of hopelessness, and when you think God is incapable, your faith will die. And in order to contend for your faith, you have to go back and say, let's redefine things. I understand. Can we revisit these issues? Yeah. So that, give me perspective, because I'm lost right now. Like my jaw is on the floor, and I'm was giving me messages like he leans upon. He says, who is this that is coming out of the wilderness? Leaning upon his beloved. What about you survive the wilderness? And when you come out, you come out leaning upon him. You come out in love. It's not come out anywhere. Ask Hagar, she was sent to the wilderness. And when she came back, Ishmael also went. So yeah, let me close. It's almost lunch. And in closing, this is what I want to say about a journey. I remember this one person that said it's a journey of sacrifices. It's a journey of constantly laying down your hands. Like, it's a I also see it as a journey of being conquered.
Yep.
Where you are constantly conquered. You know when you're conquered, you know when you're not conquered. There are moments where you're rescuing the will of the Lord.
Yeah.
But there are moments where, like a defeated soldier, what's why woman of God, you're no longer, are you accepted with the Lord?
Yeah.
As a conquered. But you did not discover you are not properly conquered. There are still places in you where you are still king.
Yeah.
And he intends, and when he conquers you, again, and again. And hence I actually feel that the greatest offering you can offer unto the Lord will not be wrong.
Yeah.
Like nothing will take you out from him. Like you have to love him. And the scripture says you can't, if you say, David says those who love him keep his statutes even when they work.
Yeah.
That's enough. You know, let me give this example with Paul and then I close with him. You know, when the Lord found him on the road to Damascus and gave him the power of his love, I bet you thought it was conquered. Until there is a God in the flesh. By then you are convinced that you are surrendered. But we understand. Then you understand that the conquering was necessary.
Yeah.
This time you consider yourself a surrendered person. You are no longer fighting, promise. You are given up. And then sometimes you are even convinced. I remember when certain journeys in my life, I was like, Lord, now I've learned the lesson. You even think in your head, without the thorn, I can do fine. Like, remove the thorn. I still think I can honor you. We could actually do better without this one. And the Lord says, no. No. No, too long. He's the apostle of God. God, the Lord says, no, I know you. But this many revelations that we have, you need something to honor you. He says, I've given you the phone in order to honor you because of the level of revelation, the level of understanding, the level of wisdom you have. So what is the Lord doing? He's conquering you yet again. To bring you into subjection to who he is. So that you can never get under his name. It's a journey of release. But also it's a journey of fulfillment. Because Paul is so fulfilled that he is even fulfilled in the concept of meeting the Maker. I'm here to see a man not scared of death. Remind me of that story. Christians will run. This man says death is good. He's not scared of death. So there are rewards in him that man can.
Yeah.
When you rest easy, rewards when David would speak and say, I have lived. And I've never seen the children of the righteous begging for food. money. They still work with you. They will rather offer into the house of the Lord to do the things that need to be done. And in the time of offering, when they're supposed to preach and encourage others, no, you can also offer your hands. No. No. What am I saying? Like, we also want to increase basic concepts. That's all that we do not have to feel any burden. Like, we want to serve them in a way that doesn't hurt, in a way that doesn't inconvenience. Like this salvation inconvenience, it requires nothing that you are not willing to give. Are you cooking anything that is about the thing? Are you cooking anything that can I can imagine, like, let's just say Abraham was successful in offering Isaac. I can imagine the day he would be rehearsing a speech he was going to give to Sarah. On his way back, mind-blowing stuff. So, if I think the scripture says the wise man, before he builds the house, he checks the cost. So before he could give an Isaac, he had to consider that conversation that you had with. And most of us, that's when we say no. The cost is too much. What you're asking me, you're putting me in a position where I must explain things that are beyond me. And I can't. And you know what is shocking? How we climb the mountain, people that make plans, we find our own jokes at times. We find our own things that the Lord was just saying. When I saw Tony so who parenting out how you cannot ascend this mountain, how this is hard for you, how Moses must be the one to ascend the mountain, and all the Lord was doing, he required nothing of yours. He just wanted you to lay it on the altar so that he can show you what he has in store for you. It was never about washing it.